Good Evening Bahamas coming up tonight.
We've got more details of a woman who died after allegedly smashing the glass window of this home behind me.
Environmentalists weigh in on the ban of single-use plastics.
A new online portal that'll make importing your goods much easier.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. As New Providence residents endured another wave of hours-long power outages today, Deputy Prime Minister Peter Turnquest insisted the Minister administration feels for Bahamas Power and Light customers. Turnquest said government leaders met with BPL officials yesterday and he's confident relief is on the way.
We do, as a government, certainly feel for our citizens, residents, and the inconveniences that they've had to endure during this period.
Since May, BPL customers have had to suffer through hours of load shedding as the company seeks to meet demand. And with little coming from the Prime Minister or the Minister of Works, who has responsibility for BPL, the Finance Minister was asked about the silence of the nation's leaders on the issue.
The only thing I can say at this point that they can be assured that we are working diligently together with BPL to try and bring resolution to this matter.
On Sunday, BPL CEO Whitney Hasey said he could not guarantee an end to load shedding in the immediate future, describing BPL as being on a cliff. He added that the company needs 250 megawatts of generation to meet summer demand, but is only running on 210, including the 105 megawatts of rental generation. However, according to Turnquest, BPL execs made a presentation to Cabinet yesterday on the way forward and their plans to fix the issue.
Based upon the information that is given to us, that we will have a relatively short resolution to the matter, barring any other significant events. So hopefully this saga, if we can call it that, is coming to an end.
Completion of the installation of the $95 million Wärtsilä plant, expected to bring major relief for BPL, has been pushed back numerous times from October to November and most recently December.
BPL has announced for several years now that it needs to go out for a rate reduction bond to deal with a whole myriad of financing challenges that they have. So that we anticipate will happen sometime towards the second half of this year. As far as I'm aware, that will solve their challenges in that regard.
Well, over the years, BEC/BPL has become a political football for politicians who demand answers in opposition but fail to find effective solutions while in office. Jasmine Brown takes a look back at the power company's woes and the politics of power outages.
Whether in opposition,
BEC is a mess, a PLP mess,
or in public office.
That is too catastrophic, too unusual, and is deserving of the highest investigation.
The mantra has pretty much been the same from politicians on both sides of the political divide. And while they disagree on how to solve it, there is one thing they can agree on. Bahamas Power and Light is a mess. It was a point that was not lost on Dr. Hubert Minnis when he served as opposition leader in 2015.
It is all too clear that this visionless government has totally failed Bahamians.
However, more than 2 years into his administration's term in office, the issue has still not been fixed, as rolling blackouts have continued, leaving many to suffer. Minnis has been mum on the current crisis at BPL despite his harsh criticism of the last Christie administration back in 2015.
And if we continue to be led by individuals who are confused themselves, can you imagine the damage they would do to this country? It is time that the PLP move on.
Who has not been silent on the current crisis is former Works Minister Philip Brave Davis. As current leader of the opposition, he has not hesitated in slamming the F&M over the matter. But when he was Works Minister in 2016, he called the BPL criticisms unfair.
I'm just as angry. I'm just as angry. Be patient. You'll have an answer soon.
But as it turns out, the answer still eludes successive governments as the problems persist. No Bahamas Power and Light executive has made the problems at BPL more glaringly obvious than former executive chairman Leslie Miller, who did not mince words when he held the post for a tumultuous 2 years.
Because last summer was a total disaster. We'll have to wait energy from elsewhere. In other words, when the bread in the east sweating, the people in the stadium will be able to watch the games.
Meanwhile, the latest solution to solve the ongoing power crisis at BPL are deals with Shell North America and Finnish technology group Wasilla. Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
A man was shot and killed during a triple shooting in Coconut Grove last evening. According to police reports, a group of men were sitting in a yard off Amos Ferguson Street just off East Street around 6 p.m. when gunmen opened fire on them.
When officers arrived here, we discovered that information was correct. There were 3 persons shot. One was fatally wounded. The other 2 received injuries, taken to hospital, and we will await an update on their condition.
Superintendent Shanton Old says one of the victims is known to police. When our news arrived on the scene, officers had taken 2 men into custody. Dozens of people in the Coconut Grove community gathered near the scene and watched as police removed the victim's body from under a gnep tree.
We are very early with this investigation. We know that in the cool of the afternoon, persons would have been outside or may have been outside. And we are asking anyone who may have information that can assist us with this investigation to please give us a call. Use the Crime Stoppers line, 328-TIPS, 328-8477. We have a P3 system. Go to your Play Store, download the P3 application, click on Country, Bahamas, and then, of course, fill out the information, and an officer will get the information.
A woman who died after allegedly smashing the glass window of a home has been identified by family members. Graphic video of the aftermath went viral on social media over the weekend. Jared Hicks has the details.
Now, according to police, it was shortly after 8 on Saturday when a woman came to a home on Butterfly Close off of Soldier Road. That's when she allegedly punched the glass window of a home, causing serious injuries to her hand and arm. She was transported to hospital, where she later died. Family members told Our News the woman is 31-year-old Zephania Dean, the mother of a 9-year-old girl. A video of the woman went viral on social media as she lay on the ground in a pool of blood, screaming in agony. Portions of the video showed the woman's partially severed hand, with several onlookers recording on their phones. A police statement on Sunday described the incident as a sudden death.
Investigators from the Central Detective Unit are dealing with that matter.
Our News visited the Butterfly Close home where the incident allegedly took place. A shattered glass window was covered by a metal panel. However, inside the home, broken glass and bloodstains were clearly visible. A man who was present at the Butterfly Close home told Our News that he was taken into custody in the wee hours of Sunday morning, but was later released.
The investigators from the Central Detective Unit are presently investigating that incident and preparing it for transfer to Her Majesty's coroner.
Meanwhile, the victim's family is remaining tight-lipped. They say her 9-year-old daughter hadn't been informed about her mother's death, as she is currently on family vacation with her father's side of the family. They added that the incident is especially tragic as the 31-year-old single mom leaves only a few close relatives behind. Her mother and father are both dead, and she only had one sister. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Hicks.
An investigation is underway at the Ministry of Education regarding alleged misappropriation of funds. Our News understands several employees of the ministry were taken in for questioning. However, police have not confirmed how many people they are talking to. Finance Minister Peter Turnquest gave few details on the matter today.
I'm not aware that they were taken into custody. I know that there has been an issue, and I would wait for the police to give a statement on that. I don't know the status of it at the moment.
Well, a 37-year-old Dominican woman was charged with 3 trafficking-related charges in the magistrate's court today. Zobeida Garcia Reyes of West Bay Street appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt. It is alleged that between December 2018 and January 2019, while in New Providence, she conspired to engage in trafficking in persons. Reyes was also charged with trafficking in persons between December 2018 and January 2019 for the purpose of exploitation. She was also charged with unlawful withholding of identification papers, namely a Venezuelan passport. Reyes was represented by attorney Richard Humes. She entered a not guilty plea to all 3 charges and will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. She returns to court on August 21st for a status hearing. Still to come, how you can clear customs with just the click of a mouse. Plus, environmentalists applaud a proposed plastics ban. The details after this break.